Question from YouTube. Todd, any advice for guys in their mid-30s wishing to fix their game? All right, so this is interesting because I could take this in a lot of different directions, right? I could take this to how to game as an older guy in general. I could take this to what if you're inexperienced at that age, or I could take it to just what's the difference in learning game at that age. And I'm gonna go more with the third one of what's the difference in learning game. However, if you wanna know specifically just about gaming in your mid-30s, I actually did a video recently on how to game younger girls as an older guy. So I'm gonna put a link here in the video. Check out that video as well. It's a great resource, a lot of great information there. So that should help you, and it's also related to the concepts in this video, for sure. Okay, so if you're learning game in your 30s, or your 40s or wherever, as an older guy, as opposed to like as an 18-year-old, what is different about that? How is it different? Well, funny enough, you're actually in some ways an advantage. Okay, now that's not to say that it wouldn't have been better if you'd learned game at a younger age. It obviously would have, okay? Because why? Because you'd have more years to experience having great game. But in terms of learning game, you should actually overall be able to learn it faster at an older age than a younger age, because you have more life experience, you have more resources to devote, and you're probably in a better life position to be doing game, right? If you're struggling for money and don't know how to make ends meet, and you live with roommates and you live in a shitty part of town, that's gonna really hurt you in terms of game. Whereas having good logistics, having the money to, arrange for nice dates, to live in a nice place by yourself, having the money to potentially get coaching and those kind of things, you're in a much better place at the age you're at as an established adult man than you would be as a young guy in terms of learning game quickly. However, the big thing that will likely hold you back is you have habits that have been established for a longer period of time. At any age you're in game, you're gonna have to unlearn some habits. You have probably some bad habits, some things you're doing that you've been doing for years that are not helping you. Problem is, at 30, you've been doing them for 12 years longer than you have been at 18, right? So they're more ingrained, they're gonna be harder to deal with, and so it is going to feel awkward and unnatural. You have to understand that going in. You have to understand when you make changes, it feels awkward and unnatural. And you are going to have to make changes. Because if you keep doing what you've always done, you're going to keep getting what you've always gotten. And that's not a result you want if you're talking about fixing your game. Okay, so understand it's going to be unnatural. So go out, do the best information you have available from the best resources you have available. I'd like to think, hopefully, that's me. But whatever resources you have, all good resources are worth pursuing and worth utilizing. So go out based on the best theory, best knowledge you have. Go try things. Some of them are going to come naturally and work really, really well, and that's awesome. Some of them are going to feel awkward. When it feels awkward, there's a few different reasons why it might feel awkward. One is it's bad advice. Two is you're doing it wrong. Or three is you just have ingrained habits, right? So try and ask yourself, does this make sense to me? Have I seen other people do it? Have I seen glimpses of it working? If it's those things, if it makes sense, you've seen other people do it, you've seen glimpses of it working, but it feels awkward for you, or even maybe it's working a little for you, but it feels awkward, it feels out of character, you need to put that aside. You need to get rid of this ingrained idea of who you are and understand that needs to be flexible, right? If you're trying to learn a new life skill that is how you're carrying yourself in the world, how you're interacting with people, and also building a lot of new habits, you need to put aside some of your ingrained identity and understand, yes, you are the person, you have the same values, beliefs, ideals, those kind of things, but a lot of your habits maybe were formed unconsciously and were not the most helpful and you need to get past them. Or a lot of your behaviors are not working for you and you need to get over them, all right? So accept that awkwardness, understand that that discomfort is a good thing. Think of it kind of the same way that when you go to the gym and your muscles are sore from going to the gym, it's technically a bad feeling. It's technically painful, right? But you should be happy if after going to the gym the next day your muscles are sore. You should be happy if you're going out in field and you're doing things that are kind of working or kind of showing glimpses of like being effective, but it feels awkward and unnatural to you, because the very fact that it feels awkward and unnatural means you've hit upon a high leverage area where change can do you a lot of good, okay? So understand it's gonna be unnatural, and it's gonna be a little more unnatural feeling for you at an older age than it would be at a younger age because your habits are a little more ingrained. However, you actually do have a benefit of a lot of other things going on in your life. You're in a plenty fine place to learn game. 30, 33, 35, even 40, 45 is not too old to learn game by any means. You're totally fine in that regard. But you are going to have to deal with putting aside a little bit what your preconceived notions about your personality are and understanding that when awkwardness happens, it can actually be a good thing.